Start this out. Tell us your name and who you represent, will you?
All right.
Go ahead.
My name is Carl W. Cooper. I'm the Executive Director of the United States Track and Field Federation.
Mr. Cooper, why do you think that the government needs to get into the business of amateur athletes?
Well, I'm hopeful that it does not have to get into it, but in the event that some of our constituent members have rules and regulations and they are being legislated against, why I would certainly not be in a situation like that for government legislation in any sense of the word, but we've had this conflict going on a long period of time, and we are exponents of the system of a single-purpose track and field organization that encompasses all aspects of track and field in the United States.
Well, why are the AAU and the NCAA always seem to be at cross purposes?
Well, it's a matter of the colleges having all of the athletes, the facilities, and the coaches, and the AAU has the international franchise. For instance, if a college or university wants to take their own team onto foreign soil to compete, they have to get the Amateur Athletic Union sanction before they can take their own college, their own coach, and finance their own way.
Oh, I think you referred to him in there as a monopoly, didn't you?
That's right, sir.
And not a
international monopoly, that's right, for international competition.
And you also hinted that they weren't doing a very good job.
That is absolutely right, because the school college community, and they are furnishing the bulk of the athletes in track and field. In fact, they have for many, many years. And the Amateur Athletic Union has very few coaches, athletes, and have no facilities, but yet they hold the club over our head as far as international competition is concerned.
Well, what's your answer to the problem?
My answer is that, in fact, when we were constituted 12 years ago, that was the answer. The United States Track and Field Federation was brought together by the United States track coaches who realized the need for a new organization because the Amateur Athletic Union wasn't doing the job, and they formed the Track and Field Federation, which would represent all facets of track and field in the United States. And the Amateur Athletic Union refused to join us. They said that no, that we are the governing body. The federal government did not give them that status. They assumed that status 62 years ago, and there's been no change in that status. They claim that they are the governing body over domestic competition, and yet we have 95% of all the athletes, coaches, facilities, and track and field aspects in the United States.
Well, what do? Wipe out the AAU?
Not necessarily. No, sir. If a new organization were formed, maybe we would be a part of a new organization, all with every facet of track and field, just like we were formed originally. They have every facet of track and field equally represented. Then we have a federation concept. You see, the United States is the only country in the world that does not have the federation concept. We have an umbrella organization, the Amateur Athletic Union, which claims jurisdiction over some 18 sports. And all the other countries of the world have an individual federation for each of the sports. And they conduct domestic competition in their own countries, and they conduct international competition.
Do you think the government should be in or out of this thing?
If it takes the government to form an all-purpose organization, I would be for that.
Otherwise, you're not.
Otherwise, I'm not.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Congressman, do you think the government has to get into the amateur athletic business?
What I view really as power brokers in the sports world today, the AAU and the NCAA and the USTFF are making a mockery, really, of the United States competing in international affairs, and I think for the good of the athletes and the American people, we've got to get involved.
You think it's going to take legislation to straighten them out?
There's no question in my mind about it, and everyone who basically testified this morning indicated that there was little likelihood of these organizations